My name is Christoph Ruckhäberle, and I'm originally from Bavaria, which is a south region of Germany. After school, a group of painters got together and we founded a producer gallery in Berlin, which was called Liga, and that kind of became the new Leipzig school of painters, so I was part of that. Spiel mit dem Feuer. My titles are quite associative. Usually they come from film or literature, and I have a print copy, a 35mm copy of a film called Le jeu avec le feu, which is Spiel mit dem Feuer, and it's a French film from the 70s by Alain Robbe-Grillet, who was also a writer. And he was in a literature movement called Le Nouveau Roman. What they did in their writing is deconstructing the writing. So it's not about telling the story of an adventure, but it's about the adventure of storytelling. So it's actually not trying to tell the story, but the telling, the way you tell the story becomes the story itself. And I thought that was kind of a nice analogy to my way of approaching the work for the show. I had the feeling that I started to rely on that complexity of just the multitude of forms within the painting to make the image. So I tried to condense that and simplify the image. So I started to paint single figures. So the paintings themselves became more simple, also in reaction to the printmaking. I always made a lot of prints, and I made prints of images that I already painted. Then I started to move the patterns out of the paintings into the space, so you became part of the space of the painting. For the black and white ones, they actually are based on some very old works of mine. It's based on this little book that I did for a show that I had in New York in 2004, I think. The idea there was to make a catalog for the painting show, but not to reproduce the paintings in photography and then offset printing, but to reproduce the works in linoleum cut. I have a lot of leftovers from the printing. So I had sheets that didn't make it into the books because we had the printer printed more than we needed for the edition of the book. And I kept them and forgot about them and found them in my studio. And then I used these prints, cut them up, made collages. They can be very cinematic because it has something about editing or something like the succession of images. So I like how little changes in the way you treat the material, they can trigger a whole new way of seeing the image. When I was an art student, I wanted to make something heavy and important with a lot of meaning. And actually what I'm trying to do is to do something that is straightforward and simple, but complex at the same time. It's something that you see the image and you can connect to it, very clear and straightforward, but it's connected to tradition and a lot of maybe also contradictory thoughts. I think that's what I'm trying to do. Something simple that is very, very complicated.